Welcome back to a Celtic state of mind. Half time at Hampden Park, and it's unfortunately Rangers 1, Celtic 0. Not a brilliant half. Hopefully, we'll be joined by Lloyd Patrick Jepson before too long. We're just having a few connection issues from Bad. So for the moment, I'll try and focus on everyone that's commenting and the chat and try and break down as much as we can about that first half performance. Now, certainly towards the early start of the game, was, I think the best word to describe that was probably frenetic for me. Not a lot of control from either team. I think as the game and a half grew on, we certainly started to dominate possession, but as certainly a few of you have said in the comments, possession is all well and good, but you have to do something with it. And that certainly seems to be the challenge for us at the moment. We've had a couple of good opportunities, Nicholas Kuhn in particular, getting some good space down that right-hand side. Being able to cut inside, but not really making what I'd call the correct decision at times. So if you guys can bear with me 1 second, I'm just going to send a link across to Lloyd, so you don't have to listen to me. Bear with me. And I will send this out to Lloyd. But for the moment, we will start to bring up some of your comments. 1 second, and bear with me. The beauty of live broadcasting. There we are. It's never happened on Paul Johnson. I'll try and get that to send. There we are. So let's bring up some of your thoughts straight away. So Patrick James Simpson comes in first. It's been coming. Dangerous passes across the back line. The passing in general has been very poor. Yeah, we're going to talk about some of the lack of discipline, perhaps, that we've witnessed in that first half. Kurgan comes in. Taylor, what on earth was he doing? I think many of us were asking that question. Ryan, someone I think you come in and make probably Claire's point, complacent. I think complacency has played its part very much in this match so far. Patrick James Simpson, you come in again. Not just Taylor, team's been off it completely, as the same pondering midweek. There has been a general latency, I think, in some of our play, which has been quite frustrating to watch. There we go. We can see Lloyd is coming in. We'll bring in Lloyd. How are you doing?
I'm not bad, mate. Technical difficulties with the original device I'm using, so I've now had to use my mobile phone to dial
wonderful. As is typical, nothing's going right for us today. We're just breaking down the first half. I think a fast start from both teams, scrappy, not a lot of control. We then seem to take control of possession after about 20 minutes. Not getting much support from the officials. I do want to point that out. I think John Beaton is living up to his reputation quite substantially. And then a moment of madness, right? A moment of madness when we speak about discipline, we speak about control, we speak about trying to, maintain our composure, and then we see that from Greg Taylor. And a player, by the way, who I didn't think was having his worst game. I thought actually, defensively, he was doing all right up to that point. But we saw early warning signs from Trusty when he played one across the face of his own goal to Carter Vickers, and we haven't learned, have we?
No, we've not learned at all. I think that's been kind of the story of the first half. We've kind of been too passive on the ball when we've had it. Too slow as well and too pedestrian at times. The thing with Rangers is, the way I'm seeing it, they're getting right in our faces. They are being very physical in the game, which obviously is a physical game anyway, but there's been things that Brother Beaton, as certain people would call him, as just literally let by. He's let certain fouls go. I mean, he's given a foul on Iggyman when it's not even a foul. Yeah. I'm still, even though it's half time, I'm still kind of struggling in the emotion of it. I'm still trying to think what's actually Carter Vickers done to warrant that a foul.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I think there's been a few decisions which have not been great. But look, I think we have to be realistic as well. We have to look at our own performance. And playing out from the back, you can see Carter Vickers has ventured forward a few times, but he's venturing forward and suddenly seems to run out of options. Is one of the frustrating things I find. There's been a couple of occasions he's carried the ball just before the halfway line, and he's had to play it back because there's no options to play. Now, we've praised this midfield a lot. They need to give the defensive players options to play the ball out from the back. Otherwise, as many people have said, we have possession, but we're doing nothing with it. with it.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. And as you've just pointed out, there, Chris, you've seen Carter Vick. I think Carter Vickers and probably Trusty, probably the two are frustrated the most out of anyone at the moment in the team, because, excuse me again, obviously it's been a case of, well, they've had no one in front of them making that movement, making that dart run. Anything that has came has been for Johnson and Kuhn down that right hand channel, and obviously Kuhn's had two opportunities to get past his man, Once again, final decision maybe not right there, but throughout the whole team, I just think really at the minute the whole team's looked off it,
Yeah,
rather than it's just been so many obviously individual errors to leading up to their goal was Taylor, we know that, but the whole team need to take responsibility. And if you're Brendan Rodgers from that dressing room right now, you need to basically look at every individual player and go, do you want this today? Do you
yeah,
want to be lifting
absolutely.
that trophy? Because for what I've just seen in the first half, I'm kind of looking at it going, who does want it? I know the other team want it because they're getting right in, they're getting stuck in. Sometimes you need to play the game dirty, and they are doing that. They're playing to their strengths, but we need to
Yeah.
start playing to us, or this cup will get away from us.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I think one of the frustrating elements today for me has been the decision making. We've been able to pick out Kuhn on a few occasions, and he's been able to bypass his man, drive into the box. Now, you drive into the box, you've got two options: you either take the shot or you play it to a man in a better position. And on two
Yeah,
occasions for me, Kyogo has been in the prime position, basically looking at a tap in. Now we know Kuhn can deliver a ball in. It's the fundamental job for a winger. Get the ball to Kyogo, make it simple. But too often he seems to want to take cut back, to turn back. It's like, a little bit like the old frustration Paulo Di Canio, one turn too many. This is a game where I think we need to do the basics better. I can see a few people in the comments talking about, fundamentals, doing the basics, doing the simple stuff, and I think that's where we're failing. We are creating chances, we are creating spaces, and I think every player's playing their part in that, but there's a lack of clinical or almost decisiveness. Right, there's a lack of clinical decisiveness in the way we're playing at the moment. How do we change this in the second half?
that's a great question. Obviously, it's a case of coming out, we need to start playing our game better. There needs to be a quicker movement on the ball rather than just being pedestrian.
Yep.
I don't think at the moment there's any need to make the subs. That'll come within the game, and that this is where Brendan will probably be at his best. It's his game management,
Yep.
and seen it before. Brendan can get the game management and win his game, but if we start the second half the way we just finished the first half, because Rangers near enough had another great opportunity,
They
but
did.
once again, slack passing, because that's what it's been. It's just been final decision making. It's just those slight passes where they're trying to no other option, right? We'll just pass it back. What's wrong with going long?
Yeah.
So, so,
Yep.
so I've been sitting there with Paul John throughout watching the first half, and sometimes I've just said, just go long, just
Yep.
clear the ball. Don't make the decision harder than what it already is, because all it just takes. There was one long ball played, and you seen Maeda take Tavernier on. So once again, just don't overcomplicate it at times. We just
Yep.
they just get passes. I know that's the way Brendan likes the team to play in that sometimes, but you need to change it up in that aspect, because you can't always just do plan A and then plan B as do plan A better. There needs to be that wee
Yeah.
change. So long
Yep.
ball may not be the worst idea, but this is where the you've seen Butland do it in the first half where he's just doing the long diagonal right
Yes.
up, and obviously there it is coming to Trusty and Carter Vickers 9 times out of 10, but it's the second ball. The minute that ball drops, 9 times out of 10 it's going to a Rangers player. They're winning it, or if Callum McGregor's in possession, if Tag's in possession, they're right up in their faces. So we now need to start counteracting that. Get out of this second half. If not, then the game could get away from us. Then they could just happily sit back, defend, do what they've done against Spurs, and just wait for the
Yep.
break and wait for space. You don't want that. You kind of want to go
Yeah.
and take it to them now.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think someone had mentioned the comments. I didn't catch the comments, sadly, because I can't bring it up. But somebody just, oh, in fact, no, I've got it. Here we go. Patrick James Simpson played into the hands. Used to see this under Tommy Burns, all the possession and play, and them scoring on a break. And that actually, I think, is a great summation of the way the match is going.
Yeah.
I do feel like we're back in the 90s a little bit here, and we're watching the great Tommy Burns team, albeit I don't think we played quite to that standard, but it's the same old story. It's the sucker punch where we're controlling possession, not doing anything with it. They get one really good chance and they take it. And I think that's the big difference at the moment. I'm going to bring in a few more of the comments at the moment. So Magnet67, agree, couldn't have a great opportunity to whip it across and Kyogo would have tapped it in. I think we mentioned that. Jock Sporring comes in, sorry. Too many holding onto the ball too long. Need to move it quicker. Yep. Danny Boy, I think we do need to bear in mind this is half-time at the moment. We are still very much in this game. It's 1-0. I do see it on a little bit of a knife edge in the sense that if they were to get another goal, I think we might struggle. But at the moment, there's all still to play for. Danny Boy sharing the optimism, saying we will win this, but bad passes must stop. I absolutely 100% agree with that. Our some of our passing is terrible. Mr. C comes in. Kuhn holds on to the ball too long, too often, looking just for a chance to shoot himself. I don't mind selfishness in our forward players if it yields results, but when there is a clear better option there.
If it's going to result in the goal, then fair dues, Chris. But no doubt every single one of us, probably, whether you're right in front of the screen or like here at an event, you're screaming, square the ball. You're literally screaming for it because it was in a far better position. Just that little head up, square it, tap in, goal, off 1-0. That's how simple it could have been. I get, okay, maybe he's seen a bit of glory himself and thought, right, I'm going to take the chance here. Fair dues. But to do the same thing twice can sometimes be unforgivable. And it goes back to that thing of, right, if you're going to do that again, you might get hooked off. Because it's a team game. Yeah, okay, individuals can win games, I get that. But it's about the team. The team comes first before the individual.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think it's about decision, getting your head up, making the decision that benefits the team. I quite happily for Nicholas Kuhn or any other player to beat 3 or 4 players, put the ball in the net, but let's do it when we're 2 or 3 goals up. Let's not do it when we're actually chasing the game. This is a point where we need to get, some fundamentals. Just as we approach the second half, Lloyd, if you had to make changes, would you make them early? Would you wait to 60 minutes? And if there was anyone you could change on the park, who would you change?
I don't think I would wait as late as 60 minutes. You would maybe give them 5-10 minutes. If the game's going the same way it's going, within 5 minutes, what the first half was, then you need to make the instant changes. I think you could be looking at Taylor for Valley. I think you could also be looking at Engels for Hatate. Forrest will come on at some point, and obviously I think we'll also know Edel play a part in the game as well. So, yeah, I think those will be the subs, but it depends, obviously, timing of the game that they're made.
Yeah, absolutely. I think AJC Tech comes in with a good point. Rangers happy for us to have the ball in this system, and that's a bit worrying. We need a disruptive change. I think that's a good point. Yeah, I think we need someone maybe to break it up. A bit more physicality maybe. I'll think a little bit. I'm not sure Hatate's game is working. I don't think, again, he's had his worst game. I think there was some stuff he was doing which was quite... the idea and the concept behind it was right. Wasn't necessarily always coming off, but I think he may be a candidate to come off for maybe an Engels or and I think James Forrest may be a good shout as well. Trusty is showing his limitations, but seems to be a player who's beyond criticism. Comes from Graham Cotter. Not sure I would say he's beyond criticism. I think he had a bit of a flaky moment in the first half where he plays the ball across the face of his own goal. I think we've seen elements of that across the team today. Bad decision making. Callum McGregor made a bad decision on a couple of occasions as well with his passing. I certainly wouldn't say that Trusty's been the worst player in the park, but yeah, we need to tighten up. We need to tighten up and stop putting ourselves under pressure.
Trusty's been taken off for scales.
Oh, has he? So
so
Chris Murray comes in as well. Yep, Trusty taken off for scales. Be interesting to see if that is the only change. So we are coming up to the second half. I can see the players coming out now. We're over 2,000 strong. Really appreciate everybody joining us. today. Apologies for the technical difficulties at the start. We will be back for full time. Hopefully, the team can turn it around for full time, and we are celebrating hopefully a Celtic win. Thank you very, very much again to Lloyd, Patrick Jepson for joining me. Thank you everyone that commented. We will try and get more of your comments up for full time, but please join us again after the final whistle. We go again. Let's see if we can get this one over the line. Hail, hail, everyone. Thanks again.
Hail, hail. God bless.